Hi all you healthy humans, welcome to New Leaf Table TV. I'm your host, Chef E, and today we're making eggplant parmesan, but with a twist. We're using pork rinds that are ground up, almond flour, and Parmesan cheese to make a delightful crust. We're gonna bake everything in the oven instead of the traditional way of frying the eggplant, and so it'll be easy cleanup. You're gonna love it. So let's go over the ingredients. We have eggplant. Some people don't like to leave the skin on because they think it gets bitter. I think it's perfectly fine because the skin contains a lot of vitamins and minerals. Eggplant is high in anthocyanins. They help protect your cells from free radical damage. We also have fresh basil, 2 large eggs, some Parmesan cheese. We also have whole fat mozzarella. Mozzarella is high in zinc, which will help boost your immunity. It also is high in probiotics, which help with your gut health. We have salt and pepper, a good quality marinara. I like Rao's because they don't add any extra sugar. Garlic powder, oregano. We also have our avocado oil spray. We are using pre-ground pork rinds. You can absolutely grind your own. You can do it in a blender or a food processor. When you're choosing pork rinds, you want to make for sure and get a brand that uses high quality pork as well as very few ingredients because there tends to be extra additives in the seasoning. Pork rinds are an excellent substitute for breadcrumbs because they're high in protein, low in carbs, and they also are a good source of healthy fat. And then lastly, we're using blanched almond flour for our breading. So let's get started. If you haven't already, preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Next, we're gonna chop up our eggplant. So just cut off the ends and cut it into thick, round sized pieces. Now we'll push this aside. Next, we're gonna add our water, 1 tablespoon of water, and 2 eggs to a bowl. And then we'll give this a whisk. Next, we're gonna take a shallow baking dish and combine a cup of our almond flour, a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, a teaspoon of oregano, a couple of teaspoons of garlic powder, some salt and pepper, and a cup of our ground up pork rinds. If you are grinding up whole pork rinds, you could just add all of these ingredients to a food processor and let it blend everything together for you. Okay, now just make sure this is all well combined. Make sure and get out all the clumps. Next, we're gonna take our eggplants and dip them in our egg mixture. Kind of shake off the excess, and then we'll dip them in our pork rind mixture. And set them on a baking dish. You can use parchment lined baking dish. This is a rack, so it'll help everything fry up more evenly on each side. You can use whatever you prefer. Okay, our eggplant is nice and coated. Now we're just gonna spray it with some avocado oil spray. Woo. And we'll pop these in the oven for 30 minutes. Halfway through, if you're using parchment paper, you'll wanna flip them over and make sure they get nice and crispy on both sides. Okay, while our eggplants are cooking, let's get our basil chopped to go on top, and then we'll just wait for them to come out of the oven. I love fresh basil. It smells so good. It helps with digestion. I just love it. Just kind of bundle up your basil and give it a nice little chop through. Our basil is ready to go. Now we just wait for everything to come out of the oven. Okay, our eggplant is out of the oven and it looks crispy and amazing. So I'm gonna take a 9x13 baking dish, spray it with my avocado oil spray, and then I'm gonna take some of my marinara sauce and just put a little layer at the bottom. Next, I'm just gonna layer in eggplant marinara cheese until we use up all of our ingredients. Now another layer of my marinara sauce. And we'll do a layer of cheese. This is my mozzarella and Parmesan combined. Now we'll use up the rest of our eggplant. Now coat everything with cheese, and then we'll pop this back in the oven for another 10 minutes to let the cheese melt and the marinara heat up. I'm gonna take my extra mozzarella and just give it a few thin slices, and we'll put those on top and let them melt in. There we go. This is ready to go in the oven for another 10 to 12 minutes to let the cheese get nice and melty. Okay, our cheese is nice and melted. Now let's get this plated up and topped with our basil. Alrighty, top with some basil. And there you have it, folks. Our eggplant parmesan. Thanks for watching New Leaf Table TV. Until we dine again, farewell, healthy humans. To subscribe to New Leaf Table's meal plan service with weekly meals and easy delivery through your existing Amazon Fresh membership, visit our website at newleaftable.com. And also, please hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel. We're going to use panko breadcrumbs, almond flour, and Parmesan cheese to make a delightfully crispy crust and delightfully crispy crust. And And so it'll be easy cleanup. You're gonna love it. So let's go through our ingredients. I was almost like, let's get started. Eggplant is high in anthocyanins with we also have whole fat mozzarella. Barney was eating and it distracted me. And then we have our crushed up panko. That's not what I was gonna. And then we are using this brand of ground up panko. We're using Pork King pork rind crumbs. Okay. And we're using this brand of, I don't know how I want to say this. We're using pre-ground pork rind crumbs. I don't know how people ever do this gracefully. Like it is, breading things like this is like one of my least favorite activities. It's time consuming and it's messy. And you usually run out of ingredients and you're like, WTF. Actually, I gotta wash my hands real quick because I gotta use them. Gotta use my hands. Okay. This wrapping is really hard to get off. I'm gonna take my extra marinara and just mozzarella. Dun, dun, dun.